Hi, hello, welcome or welcome back. My name is Megan. Welcome to the vlog. So, in case you did not know, I am a stay-at-home mom. I have 2-year-old. You might be able to hear them right now screaming in their beds. Um, it's quiet time. But anyways, I have 2-year-old twins that I stay home full time with, and that leaves me little free time and energy on most days. But I do try to use as much of my free time as possible to go towards my hobbies, the main one being reading, of course. So I just wanted to do like a little week in my life, like realistically, how much I read in a week. So that's what today's vlog is going to be. And I'm just going to take you through the week, update you on what I'm reading every day. It's not going to be much because, like I said, I don't read a ton every single day, but I do try to make time every single day to read. I'm also a very slow reader, like pages per hour. I read very slow paced. So yeah, this is not gonna be like finish 3, 4 books in a week. Like I probably won't even finish one book if I'm being honest, but I'm gonna do as much as I can. And for the sake of this video, I really want to challenge myself this week, at least like the weekdays, Monday through Friday, every day to set aside 30 minutes to have uninterrupted time reading a physical or ebook. Um, if you watched my very first video where I talk about my reading challenge for the year, my big reading challenge I'm doing, one of my big goals for the year is to read more physical books or ebooks. So, like, read more with my eyes. Because I just feel like I've relied so heavily on audiobooks that I've kind of lost a little bit of that skill to read physical books. So, my goal this week is to set aside 30 minutes of uninterrupted time to read every single day. And honestly, the hardest part of that is going to be the uninterrupted piece. Finding 30 minutes that are uninterrupted in my day is surprisingly extremely difficult, but that is my goal for the week. That is what I'm challenging myself to for the sake of this vlog. And I am also going to be sticking with the library books that I have checked out right now because if you saw my last video, I did have like a little library haul in that video, and I have quite a few library books checked out right now that I'm really excited about. So I'm going to try to focus on one or two of those this week as well. But that's all my preamble aside. Let's just get straight into the vlog. It's Monday morning right now. I will update you later with what I read today. So I'll see you soon. I wanted to give a quick update on what I've been reading today. On Monday, I'll put the totals up on the screen, but I'm probably about halfway through volume 7 of the Emma M. Line series on audio, and I'm absolutely loving it. I'm obsessed with this series. Obviously, I can't talk too much about the book itself because it's volume 7. It would definitely spoil plot points from the earlier volumes, but it's one of those books on audio where I'm like looking for things to do so that I can keep listening. So, like, I listened at the gym this morning, I listened while I was getting ready, I listened while I was cooking dinner. I started a puzzle so I could keep listening to it while I puzzled, and then I told my husband like I'll clean the kitchen tonight because that's normally his chore, so that I can keep listening to this book. So I got quite a ways through the book today, and I'm listening on increased speed. So how far I got through it is not my actual listening hours, but I'm hoping to finish that tomorrow or the next day. Then I'll only have one book left that is already out, and then I'll have to wait for them to be published. So I'm like wanting to get through them so quickly because I'm enjoying them so much, but I'm also sad to be getting through them so quickly because I'm quickly running out of story. And I don't want to wait. I love these books so much. And as far as physically reading with my eyes today, you saw that I was reading The Dream Hotel. I am currently 88 pages in and I am loving it so far. I am so creeped out by it because the things that are happening in the world building of this novel are so close to being like true in real life, like the surveillance state, the AI um, plot points in this book are so creepy because they're so realistic and so it feels like they're so close to being a reality, which is scary, and it's just like making my skin crawl. But if you don't know what this book is about, our main character Sarah is detained after coming home on a flight at LAX, and she's told that her risk assessment score has gotten too high and that she has to be detained for a 21-day period so that her score can be lowered and she's no longer a threat. And the risk assessment score is essentially they take any data that they can possibly have about you, like um, surveillance footage, like security cameras, things that you post on social media, any reports in your job or by your neighbors, any if anyone films you in public, if you have this like there's this chip that you can get in your head to essentially make you sleep better and not need as much sleep so that you can have like more hours in your work day or in your day. And it records your dreams and sends your dreams to them. So she finds out that that is what sent her score over the edge. She apparently was having dreams of, I guess, harming her husband because she's told that that is who she is a threat to, that she will commit a future crime against her husband based on their algorithm, their score on her. And so she's detained for 21 days, or told that she's going to be detained for 21 days. And this is not a prison, this is not a government run facility, it's privately owned. Um, and then as her sentence or her time goes on, it just keeps increasing because the rules are kind of ever changing. She gets written up for things, and every woman in this facility is in kind of the same boat. And then one day a new resident comes, and based on what the like synopsis on the back of the book says, this is going to be a catalyst for shaking things up in this facility in some way or another. But I'm really enjoying it so far. I think the writing style is really good. It's got like a good amount of suspense and dread that makes me want to just like keep reading and find out what's going to happen. And obviously, it has a lot of things to say about AI and data mining and surveillance state things. I can see that it's probably drawing a lot from Brave New World, if I'm remembering correctly. I read that in like junior high, so probably due for a reread on that. But yeah, really, really good book so far. Really enjoying it. I'm going to read a little bit more right now before I head to bed, add that to my total, update you on screen, and then, yeah, we'll be back tomorrow with some more reading. Okay, I just finished my 30 minutes of reading for Tuesday, and I did not read that many pages because I'm so exhausted. I'm so tired. So I'm gonna end there for today. and go to bed. I did listen to a little bit of my audiobook, but not much. Today was a lot crazier and busier than I expected it to be, so yeah, didn't get as much reading as I wanted to get done, but still read, and that's great. And I'm still very much enjoying The Dream Hotel. And I wish I wasn't so tired so that I could keep reading it. Hello, I wanted to give a quick update of Wednesday's reading. Today is now Thursday. I was not able to get very much reading done yesterday, which is totally okay. I was really only able to read at the gym yesterday morning. I go to a gym with childcare, so basically that just means my kids sit in a room and watch movies while I work out. But yeah, I was able to listen to a little bit of my audiobook, and then I went ahead and did my 30 minutes of physical reading at the gym just on the treadmill. And I was not able to fit my library copy of The Dream Hotel in my gym bag. So I went on my e-reader and tried to figure out if any of my library books were available on Libby as well. And I was able to download the ebook copy of the final revival of Opal and Nev. So I started that on my Kobo yesterday at the gym, and I read for 30 minutes, and that is all the reading I got done. I obviously didn't get very far in Opal and Nev, but I am enjoying it so far. It reminds me of Daisy Jones and the Six, not only because it's about a band or like a music group, but also because it's written in that like interview format instead of regular prose and dialogue, which makes it feel like a very fast paced book. So I'm enjoying the writing style, I'm enjoying the subject matter. I'm excited to continue that one and that I have it on my e reader. So now I have a book on all formats. I have a physical book, I have an audiobook, I have an ebook. So there's no excuse not to be reading. But for right now, I am tired. It's been a very busy morning. We've been very go, go, go this morning. And so I really just want to take some quiet time while my kids nap and work on a puzzle. I have this puzzle here, and I've done the edges, so I really want to sort out the rest of the pieces and just get through more of my audiobook. And I am planning on finishing it today, maybe not in this sitting, but before I close my eyes to sleep tonight, I will be done with volume 7 of Emma M. Lyon. And if I have time as well during this nap, I'll go ahead and do my 30 minutes of reading, but otherwise, I'll do it after my kids go to bed. And yeah, that's my update for now. So I'll see you soon. A lot of mud. Do not touch me. Oh my god.
It's a filter.
Yeah, that's a lot of mud, girl. You're playing mud? Yeah. That's great. Okay. Okay, so I wanted to give just a quick update before I move into my weekend plans. It's Friday evening right now. I am about to head out the door to see Devil Wears Prada 2 with a group of girlfriends. I'm wearing as close as I could get to cerulean blue in honor of the movie, so I'm super excited about that. And I think last we talked, I was trying to finish up Emma M. Lyon Volume 7. I did finish. And today I started a new audiobook. I started Nobody's Girl, which is a memoir from a Epstein Maxwell survivor. So quite a change in tone from Emma M. Lyon. And I've listened to maybe 45 minutes of that today. And yeah, it's going to be a super heavy book, but I want to read it. Even so, I feel that it's going to be an important and impactful read. So I'm listening to that now. And then last night, Thursday night, I did read more of The Dream Hotel before I went to bed. I read for 30 minutes. And then you saw my clips of reading outside with my kids this morning. So a very interrupted reading session, but that's all I'm going to have time for today. I think I'll probably get home pretty late tonight and just crash when I get home. So I doubt I get any more physical reading done today. But I am going to continue through the weekend, Saturday and Sunday, with my reading plans and just keep reading as much as I can. And I probably won't talk to you again until the weekend is over and I have a full wrap up for the video. I read on my Kobo this morning, like you saw. So, the final revival of Opal and Nev, I'm still really enjoying it. I'm almost, but not quite halfway through the Dream Hotel. So, I think I'm going to put Opal and Nev to the side and focus on trying to finish the Dream Hotel this weekend so I can give some full final thoughts on that book by the end of this video. But we'll see. I'm not going to put too much pressure on myself, but I will try my best to finish that. And yeah, we'll see how the weekend goes. We have a pretty busy weekend, but I'm going to still try to get as much reading done as I can. And I will put in some clips and then update you at the end of the weekend. Just as always, we'll have dinner, then we'll have a babysit. Someone to be here while I'm gone. So I was editing this vlog and I thought I had filmed a wrap-up clip already, and I didn't. I don't know why I thought that I did, but I didn't. So that was mustard. But I didn't. So that's what I'm doing now. I'm literally in the middle of cooking dinner. I was trying to edit while I was cooking. I have wet hair. It is what it is. This is a realistic reading vlog. This is real life. But I wanted to talk about the main thing I wanted to talk about is I did finish The Dream Hotel. I think the last time I talked to you, I was hoping I would finish it over the weekend. And it took me a couple more days after the weekend to finish it. So probably good that I forgot to film a wrap up, because now I'm able to give you my full final thoughts on the book, which are middle of the road. I liked the book. I really enjoyed my reading experience. I feel like doing the little challenge of reading 30 minutes every day kept my momentum up with the book. And so, like, finishing a good chunk of it every single day the whole time I was reading it was really helpful. And I feel like there are or can be two types of books, where you finish a book and you feel okay about it, and then the more you think about the book and sit with it, the more it grows on you. And then the opposite, where you really enjoy reading a book, but then when you finish and you sit back and take more of a critical eye to the book, you realize that it does have some flaws that maybe you didn't notice at first. And the latter is the category I would put The Dream Hotel in. I really enjoyed reading it. It was a slower paced book, I feel, for the genre that it is, like the dystopian, near future sci fi type of genre. It was a little bit slow paced, but I enjoyed the story and I enjoyed the writing. I enjoyed the world building. But then when I finished it and I started to think about it, I was like, oh, there's actually some things that I have, like, you know, a gripe about. The biggest, most glaring thing for me, without spoiling anything, there was a plot point right in the middle of the book where there's like this big reveal that happens. And then for the second half of the book, it's never really touched on again. It doesn't impact the plot hardly at all. It just feels like kind of like the author forgot about it, or I don't really know. Anyways, there were a couple of elements like that where it felt like maybe the like full storyline wasn't thought through completely, and some things just like weren't really resolved or just kind of like dropped off before the end. And another thing with the ending of the book, it's a little bit open-ended or a little bit unsatisfying, which I don't always mind, and sometimes I actually like an open-ended or a vague or an abrupt ending to a novel if it's earned and if it fits with the story. And I don't think that it does with this book. It didn't leave me feeling satisfied or happy with the way that the story ended, with the way that the book ended. But that could just be me. Other people might feel differently about that, obviously. Another complaint that I have is the side characters, I feel, were a little bit lackluster. I feel like they didn't get a lot of attention from the author. Of like, I just have trouble keeping them separate in my mind, like distinguishing them from each other. So all that to say, that was a lot of complaints, but I do want to say I did overall enjoy the book, and I did enjoy the message, and I did enjoy a lot of things about the book. And I just think it's one of those books that's just truly middle of the road for me. Like, I probably am going to land right at a 3-star for this one. I'll have to think about it a little bit more before I decide on my final rating. But yeah, that's my update. That's my update. Would I recommend it? I think if it sounds interesting to you, I would. I'm definitely interested in reading more from this author. I know one of her backlist books was a finalist, if not the winner, for Pulitzer Prize. I'm not sure which. I know at least a finalist, but I don't know if it won or not. I can't remember. And that's really all I have to say about the Dream Hotel. As far as like the challenge that I made for myself for this vlog of like reading 30 minutes a day, I feel like it was super successful, and I would definitely do that again. I think it really like confirmed my opinion that even if you're a slower reader, or even if you don't have a lot of time to read, if you are willing to dedicate the little pockets of time you do have when you can, it really adds up quickly. I record on my phone, so recording the clips of me reading on my phone prevented me from being distracted by my phone when I was reading. So I also think that that was super helpful as well, because that is probably my main distraction from reading. When I do have the time, I'll like scroll on my phone instead. So yeah, I think that experiment or that challenge was a success, and I would do that again. But otherwise, that's all I have. I'm just gonna go ahead and wrap up the video here so I can finish cooking dinner and finish editing this video. If you're still watching, thank you for being here. I hope you enjoyed, and if you wouldn't mind liking the video or maybe even subscribing, I would really, really appreciate it. But other than that, that's all I have for you, so let's chat in the comments until next time. Bye.